Alright, in this video, we're going to be talking about how to properly transition into a primal diet. Alright, so why do we even want to switch to the primal diet in the first place? Well, the main reason is because it's the healthiest thing you can do, right? It's the healthiest thing you can do. You're going to feel the best, you're going to look the best, and it's overall just going to improve your life quality by a lot. So in this video, I'm going to tell you how to properly transition into the primal diet. Alright, so this is what I look like a few months into the primal diet, and I look a lot better than I did a few months back. If you wanted to go look at a picture, I have a picture over here. Yeah, let's just zoom in. This wasn't a few months back though, so like that's not completely accurate. So you probably have to go and back to my old videos and see how I looked then, and I look a lot healthier now than I did back then. So that's all because of the diet, right? It's all because of the diet. It's all because I worked on my health. So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to properly transition into this diet and everything you need to know. So let's get straight into it. So the first thing you need to do is you need a detox. All right, you need to start by doing a detox. So you've been eating, I'm assuming you've been eating a lot of garbage in the past, or maybe you're like eating vegan if you're like doing that. But I'm assuming you've been eating like a lot of processed foods, you've been eating a lot of desserts, and you've just been really inconsistent with eating healthy. You need like the framework. You need the right framework. So this is why we're going to be going on a detox. So you're going to remove all of the sweets. So just remove all the bullshit in your house. So let's say you have a bunch of cookies, you have ice cream. Remove all that from the house. Or just don't eat fast foods, or just cut out fast foods in general. Okay, that's basically how we're going to start. It all starts with what's in your environment, okay? If you have a lot of unhealthy things in your environment, if you're hanging out with a lot of bad people in your environment, you're going to become more like them, okay? So it's the same thing with foods. If you have a lot of bad foods around you, you're going to start eating that type of foods. Versus if you have a whole bunch of good foods around you, you're going to start eating those foods, okay? So cut out the fast foods, okay? Cut out the sweets. What else? Cut out, sodas, all that, alcohol if you're doing that. Smoking, all that, just cut all that out because we're trying to become as healthy as possible here, especially with this diet. So cut all this out, okay? And then replace it with, meat. I'll get more into this in a little bit, but meat, more dairy, I guess, fruits, mainly just meat and fruits, some other stuff. But like I said, I'll get into that in a little bit. But that's the first thing you want to focus on. You want to do like a 2-week detox of just slowly, removing the sweets, removing the fast foods, removing the sodas, and start slowly replacing it with red meat and fruits and some other stuff. All right, that's the first thing you need to do. The second thing you need to do is you need to get the digestion right. Okay. And matter of fact, I'm gonna say one more thing. You can like have your sweets, but just cut out like at least one of these for like the first few days, and then slowly just start cutting all of them out at the end of the day. So by the end of 2 weeks, you don't want to have any sweets, fast foods, or sodas near you, or any of that other garbage. Like you know what you're eating, if it's garbage or not. All right. Now for your digestion, I don't want to talk about this yet. So we're gonna talk about the diet on what to eat. So what you want to eat is you basically want to focus on eating red meat. So eat your red meat. I know a lot of people say this is expensive, but you can get some really good deals if you go to a place like Aldi. Ideally, you go to a farm, right? Ideally, you go to a farm. Me personally, I don't go to a farm because I don't live really close to one right now. So I'm just going to the store, and of course, I don't have it raw because if you go to the store, there's like a way higher chance of you gonna get sick if you eat it raw. So I eat it cooked. So red meat, so you can find a lot of ground beef. You can get a lot of affordable ground beef, and you just eat that throughout the week. If you have a little bit more money, you can get some steak, or you can get a mix of both. And my go-to is usually like a ribeye, and I cook this grass-fed, of course. So you want high quality stuff. Then I also usually get some milk. So I get some whole milk. Again, ideally you get like some raw milk from a farm, but like I said, I'm not near a farm, so I just drink some organic whole milk from the store. I eat a lot of fruits. I've been eating a lot of fruits, especially recently. So I eat berries. Berries is gonna be your best. I've been drinking a lot of orange juice. So also been eating berries. Oh, I've been eating bananas too. Bananas aren't as good, but berries is gonna be your best bet. So if you love berries, eat your berries. All right, blackberries, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and then orange juice is pretty good. Oranges in general is pretty good, and bananas are okay, but it's better than have nothing. You know what I mean? I use bananas to get rid of my sweet addiction in the first place too. Like before, I used to eat a whole bunch of like junk food sweets. I was able to use bananas to replace that. So every time I got the sweet tooth, I would just eat a banana. So red meat, milk, ribeye, milk, fruits. Okay, and then also pork. Pork would be good, right? So pork, you can get a lot of this. Lamb, fatty fish. What did you say fish though? Fatty fish. Chicken here and there. Okay, I'm not gonna put chicken on this list because chicken's not the best if we're being honest. Eggs is good, but chicken's not gonna be the best, right? Just because it doesn't have as much fat. You want to have a good amount of fat, so you actually don't consume as much food. Because the good thing about fat is you're not gonna feel as hungry when you eat a lot of fat. All right, that's how you stay lean. But it's not gonna be like in an unhealthy way where you're starving yourself. You just have fat and you don't need to eat, right? But if you're trying to bulk up, you can definitely decrease the fat a little bit more and up the carbs for sure. So, yeah, that's basically what you're going to be eating from now on. If you want to properly switch to this diet, eat a lot of red meat, eat pork, lamb, fish, eggs, milk, and fruit. I might have forgot some things. I certainly might have forgot some things. I'm trying to, make sure I don't. But these are going to be the main things. This is going to be like the foundation. If you want to, like if it's in the winter, you can eat some root vegetables too. So this can be like uh, potatoes, beets, anything that's comes from the ground. You can eat those too. Just don't eat plants. All right, don't eat leafy greens. None of that. All right, and that's basically the diet. So you can take a little picture of this. This is what you're going to be eating, and then you're going to be slowly replacing these bad foods for these foods, and you are going to have a healthy environment around you. Now, we're going to go ahead and do this one. So now, once you fully detox, right, you're not, craving garbage anymore. You can start to listen to your body. Now, this might take like a month before you can probably listen to your body, okay? Because, of course, you're going to be craving garbage, especially if you've been eating garbage your whole life. So, this is why you need to start listening to your body once you get to the stage. So, once you fully detox, listen to your body. So, listen to your body. Are you craving sugar? Are you craving a lot of protein or fat? Like, you're going to be able to crave this stuff, especially whenever you get to this level. And you just basically listen to it. So I've been up in the dose. I've been eating a lot more carbs recently, right? Especially fruits. So been eating a lot of fruits recently because my body's been craving that. So you want to listen to your body's cravings because that's what your body needs. Okay, you don't just want to ignore the cravings. You actually want to listen to the craving because your body actually needs those nutrients from the specific food you're craving. All right. So, for example, let's say you're doing a lot of working out this week, right? Versus working out, or let's say you don't work out a lot this one week, but then the next week you work out a lot, right? That second week you work out a lot more, you're gonna need more carbs, okay? Because your body, or just more calories in general, because your body is burning a lot of it by just working out. All right. So listen to your body. If your body is craving a lot of food, eat the food, okay? You shouldn't get fat, especially if you're eating the right foods. You're not going to really get fat if you're eating this diet, I'm telling you. Like, it's impossible, I feel like. I mean, there might be some outliers, but in general, I just don't think you can get fat eating this diet. It's just that healthy for you, especially if you're moving too. Now we're going to be talking about digestion. So, for your digestion, to max out your digestion, this is important because, digestion, if you're not probably digesting the food, you're just going to poop it all out and you're not getting the nutrients you need from the food. So all you got to do for digestion is not that complicated, Okay, it's really not that complicated. And this is like one of the most important things in the video. Walk after every meal, right? Walk after every meal. So do like a 10-minute walk after every meal. Or you can like feel, like again, listen to your body. You can feel if you're fully digested or not. Okay. If it's not fully digested, keep walking. All right. Sometimes I would eat like a meal and it would take me like 30 minutes to fully digest it after the walk. Sometimes I can walk for like 5 minutes and it's already digested. So sometimes it's depending on what the meal is, if it's high in fat or high in carbs. Usually I found that the meals with higher in fat for me takes a little bit longer to walk, okay? Because, fat slowly digests compared to carbs, right? So that's just how it works. So walk after every meal and have more meals. So what I mean by have more meals isn't to up your calories or not. It's more of a thing where you just split the split the meals in halves and just have that throughout the day. So for example, let's say for breakfast I have like 20 eggs, right? 20 eggs for breakfast. I have 10 eggs originally, like at the normal breakfast time, and then like 2 hours later, I'll have like another 10 eggs, or like an hour and a half later, I'll have like another 10 eggs after I fully digested it. If you can do this, your digestive system is going to be perfect. Okay, of course, if you're drinking a lot of fluids, so you're getting your fluids in, you're eating fruits, you're going to get a lot of water from fruits in general. So that's all you got to do for your digestion, okay? Just split these meals, have more meals throughout the day, and you'll be good. Now, for your carbs, this is going to be actually before we get to this, I'm just going to plug this real quick. So, so this is my program right here. This is how I, built my physique, improved my health, and all that. So if you're interested in it, just click top link in the description. I have a video right here discussing about what's in the program and what you get. Here's some pictures of what you get inside. So you get a gym routine. I don't go to the gym no more, but when I was going to the gym, I have a gym routine that I use. I have this calisthenics one coming soon, and I have how I bulked up, a more in-depth version of that coming soon. And I also have coaching, so if you're interested in improving your health and building a better physique, if you want to, do the coaching. But like I said, I don't really lift weights that much no more. I'm more of a movement type of guy. Like I've been just working on my health a lot, so I'm not really lifting weights as much. But I might always get back and do it some other time. But yeah, if you're interested in that, top link in the description. Now for your carbs. The main thing you want to have for carbs is fruits, okay? Like I said, fruits can be your main source of carbs. In the winter, or matter of fact, let's put it this way. Spring and summer, eat a lot of fruits. Fall and winter, eat a lot of root vegetables. And that's how you're going to be getting your carbs in, okay? I know a lot of people in the Primal Diet space, they neglect this carb stuff. Like they say just have a whole bunch of meat and fats. You don't need carbs, but do not listen to that. All right, we're going to be doing this in a more modified way. You want to have a lot of carbs. So you want to have like as much carbs. Like I think how I like to do it is I like to do like 60% of the diet is going to be carbs. Like 20% is going to be fat, and like it's going to be mainly carbs, right? You basically want to have a lot of carbs. You want to have a lot of fruits. You want to have fat from your animal proteins. So foods like steak, foods like, or again, like let me just go back to this. Pork, lamb, fish, eggs, red meat, ribeye, right? All this is going to have protein plus fat. That's what you're going to get from that. Or milk too. Milk also has protein plus fat. That's how you're going to consume your fat throughout the day. That's how you're going to consume your protein throughout the day. And then for your carbs, you're just going to have a whole bunch of fruits. And if you just do this, if you make every meal just protein plus fat, right? So you have like a animal protein, because every animal protein is going to have protein and fat. If you have milk, and then you have some fruits on the side for every single meal, right? 6 meals a day. You make it light so you can probably digest it. You're going to feel great. Like you're going to feel great. So that's basically what you got to do to properly transition into this diet. So if you found this video valuable, drop a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can never miss an upload. And like I said, if you're interested in joining this program and learn more about this stuff, I will have that top link in the description. And if you found this video valuable, drop a like. I think I just said that. If I didn't say that, drop a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can never miss an upload. And I'll see y'all in the next one. All right.